Call the member for Maroochydore.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I have the honour of serving in this House with Tim Mulherin, and while across the aisle, I respected him as a passionate local member, a man of conviction and a man of care for his community and his family. To his wife Erin, sons Declan, Liam and Rory, we particularly acknowledge you today and your broader family. And reflecting also on the previous speaker, the Speaker's contribution to the House, it is something that is always very sobering, that there's these times we come to particularly pay respect to people who've served in this House. And it is a House of debate, it's a House of contest. It's a House where we don't agree on everything. But one thing I think we do agree very strongly is the value of those who play the ball and not the person. And Tim Mulherin was such a person. He was honoured and respected today because he honoured and respected people across political lines, even though he may not have shared their views. And I certainly can attest to the fact that in the respect that he showed others, they returned that respect because they saw that his care was genuine. He did serve with distinction. He served and proved that service above self leaves something far more significant than names on plaques, titles that are in the history books. What is far more significant are people such as Tim Mulherin who show that leadership isn't a title, it's an action. And it's an action that's best served with the care and love for others, consistently in a local community and consistently also across the state. Tim came into this House in 1995, following on from another Labor stalwart, replacing Ed Casey, who also has left his mark here in Queensland, and serving first as a backbencher and then being elevated in the Beatty ministry. He went on to hold the many ministerial portfolios that have been outlined, but particularly throughout rural and regional Queensland, as Agriculture Minister, as someone who had a passion and a real belief in developing this state. He is remembered, as I said, not for a title, but because of that passion of care and leadership to serve others. Obviously, with the way that there's the swings and roundabouts in politics, the challenges that he faced, as did other members of the Labor Party coming into the 2012 election, to have so few members sitting on the opposition benches. And I've reflected on this over the years myself because while I've also been in this House with only a few more members than during that period of time that the Labor Party faced, you really do understand that how people conduct themselves in the most challenging of times really does indicate the measure of their character. And it was quite clear that even in those challenging times of so few people sitting alongside of himself, sitting in the Labor opposition, he continued to conduct himself with the tenacity that we saw that he took later in life as he was fighting the illness that ultimately took his life. But that tenacity and that care and that dignity is something that won him great respect. It won him great admiration for the legacy that I know in talking to people that I've known across his own local community continues to this day. As someone who has served this state well, someone who's shown that the measure of a man, the measure of a person, is the character that they take and the kindness that they invest into the lives of others. People in need, many people, we may not always know their stories, but as those stories come to light, I hope it provides more comfort to the family to know that those years of service that have been given in great sacrifice, the time when the father wasn't around the dinner table because he was serving other people, are never in vain. They're invested in a legacy that lasts beyond their moment of service that's known. To the family, to the members who've served alongside Tim Mulherin, to the community of Mackay and to the Queensland community as a whole, we remember this man as somebody who has served with dignity, with honour and respect. Vale Tim Mulherin, and to the family, our condolences.